So here's the deal. I live in Florida, I have a white roof, which I think is a really good idea because the sun is very hot. For some reason, we get this black mold on the roof. I mean, it really looks like a cracker house. I don't know, just bad news here. So about, I don't know, 10 years ago, this guy come by and says, hey, I could clean your roof, a couple $100. I said, does it hurt the metal roof because it's a galvanized painted roof? You know, absolutely not, good for your environment. Anyway, I don't know what he did, but it looked pretty good. It's been okay for a couple of years, although it's really getting kind of spotty with this black mold, fungus, whatever. Oddly enough, I have a white Ford F-150 about 1999, and the roof is just totally black. And it rains a lot in Florida. I really don't wash the thing. It rains a lot in Florida. This is the roof. You would swear the roof is black. So I've been looking around on YouTube and the internet. There's a lot of good info on YouTube and the internet. There's a lot of lack of information sometimes even false information. So they got these cleaning substances that they talk about cleaning your roof, and always talk about it doesn't hurt the tile, doesn't hurt the terracotta or whatever, you know, but it doesn't say anything about metal roofs. So I was seeing some guys talk about cleaning a metal roof with bleach. So here's what I messed up, and you better not do it. But I took about a half, 3/4 of a bucket of water. I poured in a good 2 cups of the cheap Walmart bleach, and I put a good squirt in of Dawn dishwashing liquid. And what you're going to see is how it worked. Later on, I went back and I said, yeah, this is really good stuff, you know, because I was surprised that it worked. And come to find out, everybody's saying bleach is bad for paint. Bleach is bad for paint. So I'm not going to put it on my house. The beat up truck had a one-time on it. Like I said, I think that was a mistake. But let me show you what it did. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back with the recommendation that I found out later that somebody said hydrogen peroxide is also good for killing the roots, apparently, of this fungus. You can't just wipe the fungus off. You got to get the roots or something, they said. Yeah, hydrogen peroxide, yeah, right. But then they said, well, where you get hydrogen peroxide is in this oxygen bleach. Okay, so what is oxygen bleach? Apparently this is this Oxiclean. So I went back and I had a couple spots left on the truck that I redid and filmed that. So first thing I'm going to show you is the regular hypochlorite bleach. We'll see how that works. Okay, as you can see, this looks like some fantastic commercial where this stuff, I mean, is just amazing. I mean, I'm just, with very little elbow grease, whatever, I'm just cleaning up this truck, and I'm telling you, afterward, the truck looked immaculate for the most part. I was careful to wash it off. I was so impressed that I have a white Nissan that I went and did some of the spots on the Nissan, though it wasn't nearly as bad. So I think this might be a technique where a used car salesman might want to clean up a car before he sells it or something like that. But it basically is not recommended. So definitely everyone agrees. Now what you're going to see is I got some oxygen bleach. I put 2 cupfuls and about a half a bucket of water, which is probably way more than you're supposed to put in for a laundry load. I put in a good squirt of Dawn dishwashing liquid. And then I went out, and what you're going to see is that the stuff does work, but it's much less of a dramatic result. The other stuff you just had to basically put on there, and it went to work. This you've got to scrub and move it around and give it some time. But it is what it is. If it doesn't hurt the paint, then this should be the way to go. So, for what it's worth, I'm probably going to try this on my house eventually. I'll probably wrap a bunch of rags on a cinder block and go up and down, because I'm not going to walk on a metal roof. They're slippery enough, and once they get wet, they're going to be real slippery. And I'll probably use some safety ropes and things like that. But you know, on the car too, maybe if I had regularly cleaned the car, this wouldn't have been an issue anyway. So that's my little experiment. I hope you'll find some use in it. Okay, good luck. So there it is. Like anything in life, there are trade-offs and choices to be made. I wish that bleach was recommended on paint, but it is not, so therefore it's not recommended by anybody, the thing to use. So in Florida we've got a mold problem, and I like to drive around in white or light colored cars because of the heat. If you move down here, you'll probably not want to keep your dark colored car. That's just a little final side note. Okay, everybody have a good time. Thanks for watching, and good luck with those issues of mold.